Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. Hope you're doing well. Today I have got a beer from Theakston Brewery, and it's a bottle of their old Peculier, the legendary ale, coming in at 5.6% ABV. Let's have a look at the artwork on the bottle. Black with a bit of art going on there. What does it say? It says 1741 seal of the official. The official of the Peculier of Masham, 1747, whatever that means. Yeah, Theakston beer. It's got the same logo on the bottle cap, which is quite nice. What does it say? What does it say? Theakston Old Peculier, unpasteurised and cold filtered. Contains barley, malted barley and wheat. And yeah, that's about it. Brewed by Theakston Brewery, Masham, North Yorkshire. 500ml bottle. I picked this particular bottle up in Tesco. It was in the 4 for £6 offer, or range, should I say. Individually, I think it was about 180. 180 a bottle. I'm sure I've had this beer before, but it's definitely been a while. So I've heard fantastic things about this beer. Really nice aroma. Let's get this old Peculier ale into the glass. See what we're dealing with. Leave the bottle there. I've just realised that bottle matches my t-shirt beautifully. That wasn't deliberate, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so there's the beer. Really dark, not quite black. There is a dark red hue bleeding through that glass throughout. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't really pick that up. I'm not sure if it even gets it at the bottom, around the edges. You might see a bit of red bleeding through the bottom of that one. But it's not completely dark. Yeah, plenty of red bleeding through that. Head's dying down a little bit now, so I'm going to get the rest of this in there, I think. Maybe not quite yet. There's a dribble in there. So yeah, get the aroma. Okay, it's quite fruity. Dark fruit, kind of fruitcake vibe I'm getting at the moment. Froth in my nose. Yeah, definitely sort of a subtle fruitcake aroma coming through on this one. Like I say, it's got a finger and a bit of slightly creamy looking head on it. Quite a tight, compact, frothy looking head, which is slowly dissipating. But a bit of fruitcake. It's quite sweet smelling. There's like a dark berry sort of aroma going on with it. Not particularly malty on the nose. Dark fruit, subtle sweetness, subtle dark berries. Not a lot else, if I'm honest. I'm going to get stuck in. Cheers. Interesting. Interesting. Quite a bit of lingering bitterness on this one. The aroma hasn't really changed much. It's just a sort of a subtle fruitcake aroma. Not really getting a lot else. Subtle fruitcake, bit of dark berry. Try again. Quite a bit of body to it. It's really covers the palate. Gentle carbonation. It's quite bitter. There's a lot of hoppy character in this one. Doesn't say enough, really. It's not giving me any hints, this one. So fruitcake, as I got on the aroma, I'm getting that on the tip of the tongue. as it hits you, as it kind of first hits the palate. Dark fruit. It's like a little bit of cherry. Bit of apple. Definitely getting like an apple, almost like a toffeed apple. Toffeed apple, subtle toffeed apple sweetness. Bit of cherry. And then the carbonation rush comes. And there's like a subtle bit of dark chocolate bitterness at the back. Tiniest bit of milky coffee. It's balanced, is what I will say. It's balanced. There's dark fruit, there's bitterness, and that bitterness does linger, and it really coats the palate as well. Just as that carbonation, that subtle carbonation dies down, you then get a rush, and it's almost like, it can almost be mistaken for carbonation, the rush that the bitterness brings. Excuse me. Sweetness on the tip of the tongue, a little bit of carbonation, and then warm. I'm getting a rise now, a rush of bitterness. But it's not overpowering. It's not an overpowering bitterness, but it's definitely the main element to this beer for me. Is that bitterness on the back end, and it's like it's a dark chocolate kind of coffee bitterness. But say there's no at no point is there anything that overtakes one another. There's nothing that's really overpowering anything else in this beer. There's no definitive character to this beer for me. It's very balanced. There's a slight toasted aroma coming through now. Slight sort of toasted malt. Maybe a bit of vanilla. A touch of vanilla. I kind of feel like it's developing. I feel like I kind of toasted, like a toasted vanilla, maybe a slight sort of toasted vanilla marshmallow, almost. It's starting to come through on this. Only subtle. But I definitely feel like it's starting to develop now. This is a bit of a slow burner, this beer. I'm struggling to kind of put my hat on anything that would nail the description for this beer. It's balanced. It's quite enjoyable. I'm actually quite enjoying the beer. It has different aspects to it. There's the dark fruit. There's a bit of toasted vanilla I'm getting sort of mid-palate. And at the end you're left with a sort of dark chocolate bitterness. I like the body. I like that it really coats your palate. It's not thin. It's not watery. As soon as it hits your tongue, it really takes over your palate. It's quite complex. It's quite a complex ale, this one. Do you know what? I think the description, the name of the beer, hits my description of this beer on the head. Oh, Peculier. It is a very peculiar beer for me. From a beer reviewer's perspective, this is peculiar. I can't nail it. I can't say what style it is. I can't say what it reminds me of, because it doesn't really remind me of anything. There's aspects to lots of different beers in this one. It's complex. It's enjoyable. It's fruity, there's fruit cake, there's like a toasted malt, sort of marshmallow vanilla aspect to it. There's a dark chocolate bitterness at the back end. But it's good. It's good quality. It's a good quality beer. It's a good quality beer. I'd be interested to have this on cask. I see what that's like. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. But like I say, I can't think of anything that it particularly reminds me of. I can't think I've had another beer like this, and that's what makes it slightly peculiar. Excuse me. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. I would drink it again. I would probably buy it again. Just to kind of get another crack at it, another go at it, and see what I think. There's a lot going on with this beer. It's very enjoyable. It's pleasant. It's a pleasant beer. There's a lot going on with it. It's definitely a sipper. I feel like it's still developing. I feel like it's still developing in the glass, and for a 5.6% beer, that's quite rare. Normally after a few sips you kind of know what you're getting. With this, I never feel like I've had that. I never feel like I've had something like that. There's aspects to lots of different beers in it, but nothing that quite matches it. Yeah, I suggest you go. I recommend you go out and buy this and have a go and let me know what you think of this one. It's been quite requested, this old Peculier review, and yeah, I'm baffled. If I'm honest, I'm a little bit baffled by it. It's enjoyable. I like all the aspects to it, and I would definitely drink it again. I would definitely buy it again, and because of that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Quite enjoy it. Yeah, Theakston, old Peculier. 7 out of 10 for that one. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, guys. Until my next one, you take care.